AI. Our Mackenzie Sagalos has more on the areas of the business that'll be most affected. Morning, Mac.
Hey, good morning, Carl. So this is the latest chapter in Amazon's multi-year efficiency drive, which is largely focused on hollowing out layers of middle management. Now, the company is cutting 14,000 white-collar jobs, or about 4% of its corporate workforce, with layoffs hitting teams across the business. Employees in its video games, grocery, HR, comms, ads, and devices units were informed of cuts early this morning, but layoffs are expected to touch nearly every area of the business. Amazon's HR chief also suggesting in a blog post this morning that more job cuts are coming through 2026. And if the total hits 30,000, as Reuters reports, this would be the largest corporate layoff in Amazon's history. Now, the company says it is streamlining to move faster and shifting resources to its biggest bets. And right now, that means data centers, chips, and the infrastructure needed to compete in those hyperscaler wars. It's all part of a broader reckoning across the Mag 7. Tech giants are pouring billions into AI while quietly acknowledging that they'll need fewer workers to sustain that growth. Meta's year of efficiency has become an industry blueprint. You've got Google cutting 35% of small team managers in the last year. Microsoft shed 15,000 roles this summer alone. And then Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, he said this June that generative AI will shrink their headcount. Since 2022, Amazon has already cut more than 27,000 jobs, and it's now on pace to spend more than $120 billion just this year on CapEx to compete in those cloud wars. And then in the background, internal documents showing Amazon plans to automate 75% of its operations by 2033, potentially avoiding 600,000 new warehouse hires. So, Carl, the message is clear here. AI may be boosting stocks, but it's thinning out the employment ranks.
Yeah, there was a good chart today out of Goldman looking at hyperscaler CapEx going higher, obviously, and buybacks and dividends as a result going lower. I wonder if you think the news today that you mentioned suggests that maybe consensus on hyperscaler CapEx is still too light.
Well, and that's what we're going to be looking at this week. You've got Amazon reporting on Thursday, Google on Wednesday, and they both have been upping their spend commitments. And there's a lot of pressure going into earnings, given the numbers that we've seen from OpenAI, deals accounting to more than $1.5 trillion. But what I will say is that this morning, Carl, we saw that Microsoft OpenAI news, and part of that commercial agreement that they struck was a guarantee that OpenAI would use $250 billion worth of compute from Microsoft Azure. But no longer does Microsoft have right of first refusal, which means that it's open season in terms of courting OpenAI's business, and Amazon Web Services has yet to provide them compute.
Yeah, in addition to the CoreWeave and Google deals that we've already seen, that's going to get really spicy. Mac, thank you. I'm Mackenzie Sagalos watching Amazon at least today. Let's get